going to go ahead and start the winter solstice celebration the day after the equinox has made its shift. And we're going to start with the four directions. And this was a very beautiful version. So we are going to start, and I've asked that you, if you can stand, to go ahead and let's face the east. Yes. All right. And so we are going to connect with the energy of the east. It's air, it's the yellow color, and we begin with the direction of spring or newness and the rising sun. The promise of renewal and new beginnings. Regardless of what's happened years ago or even yesterday, when we face the dawn, we are reminded to let go of the past and look at whatever is unfolding in our lives now with fresh eyes and a grateful heart. The element associated with the east is the air, and air is light, clear, free-flowing. Connecting the air element can help us feel inspired, energized, and clear-headed. So we call to the east where we are strong and perfect, and we're present in the moment. We are one with the wind. We are inspired and energized. Repeat after me. I am the wind.
I am the wind.
And we're going to move to the south. Facing the south.
Wow. Yeah.
It's
okay, Dave.
Okay. South is the direction of summer and the midday sun. It is the direction of action, abundance, and blessings. Focusing on the southern direction, we open our awareness to the goodness, health, and well-being woven through the fabric of our lives, and trust that our needs will continue to be met tomorrow at every step along our path of life. The south is the element of fire, and it's a symbol of passion and intensity of our emotions, driving us to pursue our goals and dreams. It's a symbol of burning away of old beliefs and habits, allowing for personal growth and development. It represents a spark of divinity that resides within all living beings. We call to the south and we allow the fire of the south to transform us, and we will keep fire burning to live a life of passion and purpose and transformation. And so that is. And we turn again to the west. And as we face the west, it's the direction of autumn and the setting sun. In doing so, we invoke our willingness to embrace change and impermanence. We bring awareness that all objects, relationships, and conditions we think as being ours are actually just on loan, and we must release them at some point. The element associated with west is water, and water in its most basic form is the lifeblood of our planet. It nourishes, cleanses, and sustains all form of life. It represents purification, cleansing, and transformation. The flowing nature of water reminds us to go with the flow, adapt to change, and be fluid and flexible in our approach to life. Water's ability to transition between liquid and vapor and solid symbolizes that life where endings always give way to new beginnings. And by acknowledging and honoring the cycle represented by water, we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for the precious gift of life and the sacred nature of existence itself. We call to the west where we allow our path to unfold. We trust in perfect timing and surrender to the divine flow of life and energy. And then we turn to the north. North represents winter and the earth, that place that holds us, that allows us time and space to heal and grow, to feel nurtured and respected. It's also a place of embodiment, of connecting with our physical self, with the concrete, tangible world around us. The North calls us to seek balance, deep wisdom that lives in our bones, a place of rest and recovery. At this time, let us recognize this place on earth we call Anchorage, Alaska. We are stewards of the land and the resources of the Dena'ina people and acknowledge their belief in everything has a spirit and should be treated with respect. The power of wisdom connects us to all peoples, creatures, and earthly resources. We call to the north where we are held by Mother Earth. She bears our weight, and we thank her as long as we are connected to the earth. We ask to be imparted to the divine wisdom of the earthly realms.
Aho.
And then the last one is within. And as you take the time, if you'd like to sit down, you can. Take the time to put your hand on your heart and create a circle within your body and find your breath. And as Dave does 5 minutes of meditation with the heartbeat, find your own heartbeat. Feel it connect to the heartbeat of Mother Earth and the heartbeat of your breath. And just simply allow yourself to be. as you just gently start to awaken. Feeling the power of your own heartbeat, the breath in your lungs, your connection to Mother Earth. On your chair, we're going to do a cappella. Because I know you guys all know this song. And that'll bridge us into our beautiful metaphysical meaning of Christmas. So a cappella.
Okay.
All right, everybody, pretend if you're concerned about singing, close your eyes. Nobody's going to look at you. Okay. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing Alleluia. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. We did pretty darn good.
Woohoo!
You know? And I hope in there you insert, where you feel. This is a very traditional Christian song, but it does have a lot of good meaning. Great to remember as a child. I'm sure we all sang it.
Radiant beams. Sounds
Radiant
good.
beams. I love radiant beams, which is what we're experiencing in this moment. So please welcome Camille. She's going to give a really beautiful version of metaphysical.
Thank you for coming, Camille.
Before I start, I just want to, acknowledge people who come out, people who, make the effort and maintain a ritual of coming out, getting dressed, getting the car. Because when you make those choices, we create this beautiful connection that I think is really, for me anyway, it's especially meaningful and helpful, during these very busy times of the end of the year. So thanks for being with us tonight. So this is something that Dawn and I, Dawn found and I am happy to share with you today. The metaphysical interpretation and meaning of Christmas and this idea of the Christ and the light. For most people, the birth of the Christ child is an annual event that evokes altruistic feelings, even in people that perhaps don't quite live in their heart or live in that compassionate kindness throughout the rest of the year. It's a time that is synonymous with peace and love and goodwill towards all people. It's such a powerful narrative that it has persisted for over 2,000 years. Perhaps the reason that this story is so evocative for all of us is that somewhere deep in the depths of our subconscious, it resonates with us that although on the surface, the story of Christmas is a poignant account of the birth of one child, there is definitely more to it. The birth only appears in two of the synoptic Gospels, Matthew and Luke, and differs in content, background, and cast of characters in both. And yet it is taken as an immutable truth by the fundamental Christian churches. But if we look beneath the facts, we can find a rich symbolism that explains why the story has appeal for all. There are many metaphysical interpretations of this story, but we can create our own this morning as a contemplative device. The first thing to note is that Christ is not the last name of Jesus. I always say if there were phone books back then and you looked up Jesus Christ, you would not find him in the book because the word Christ is actually a title, the Christ, known as the Anointed One. But it's also referring, and this is how it becomes ours, it's referring to a level of consciousness. The virgin birth could also be a metaphor to explain that Jesus came into this world as we have, as pure spirit, highest perhaps in consciousness than others at the time of such spiritual darkness. Perhaps the baby represents ourselves in all of our innocence and vulnerability, stripped of any of the trappings of our everyday lives. The image of a baby being born in the lowliest of surroundings, back then a stable, reminds us that on a spiritual level, there is no rich or poor, there is no weak or strong. We are, in fact, all equal. During the annual rebirth, which is being born again in our awareness of this Christ consciousness that is within. It is an opportunity to recall to your attention the words that Jesus himself told us. The man spoke in bullet points. Ye are gods. Ye are gods. But our understanding of this is very tenuous and difficult for us to believe. So the idea must be nurtured during times like this to bring it into maturity. Mary, the mother of Jesus, represents the feminine, the emotional, feeling side of our nature, while Joseph, the carpenter, is the masculine, thinking side. The two together, of course, providing the yin and the yang. If we perceive the in as ourselves, more specifically perhaps our mind, it brings awareness that the phrase, "there is no room at the inn," may indicate that many times our minds are so full, too full, and oftentimes with very mundane old thoughts that leave no room for spiritual contemplation, understanding, education, and realization, which is so important these days. We end up being fearful, perhaps, of allowing ourselves to accept even the smallest seed of our true divine nature, because we have really been socialized to acknowledge, accept, and live in separation, duality, and to deny our godliness, which is why these kinds of places and these kinds of gatherings are so important. But even in denial of our true selves, we have the stable with the manger, which of course represents the heart. to hold and keep safe our own feelings, our feelings of vulnerability. Although we must step outside of the mind, the in, and abandon our cluttered thoughts to get a calm, safe, open space that acknowledges our connection to the stable, to Mother Earth. The notion of this connection is further represented by the shepherds and the animals, while the Magi represent the wisdom from the east, the source of light that we can draw to us if we are open and receptive. Another important character in the story, the King Herod, can be seen to represent an additional essential part of ourselves, our ego. Our ego is always threatened by something new happening in our lives because it thrives in the past. It tries to stop, kill off anything which threatens to change the place of safety that we have chosen, whether it is good for us or not. Remember the great saying by Marianne Williamson, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
Yes.
It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. It is our light that most frightens us. The light in the Christmas story, the star, is a symbol of guidance, of hope, and the potential of our wishes and dreams. Remember, when you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. When you trust that inner guidance, you are indeed guided. The three gifts of the Magi that were brought, frankincense, gold, and myrrh, perhaps metaphors for physical, emotional, and spiritual. Gold could be seen to represent our material possessions, which, when we lose attachment to them, become a force for good and a powerful magnet for everything we truly need in life. We need to be reminded that we are co-creators of our reality. Nothing is denied us unless we choose to allow fear to feed our doubts. Shakespeare once said, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Frankincense is an essential oil produced from the resin of the boswellia tree. As the resin bleeds from the tree, the hardened clumps are known as tears. These tears are collected and processed to produce a substance used for healing. That's so symbolic right there, right? That when we cry, it's a necessary release that always, on some level, whether we're aware of it or not, creates and causes and assists us in healing. As the resin bleeds from the tree, the hardened clumps are known as tears. These tears are collected and processed to produce a substance used for healing, and in religious ceremonies, frankincense represents the healing power we have within us, which is often thwarted by our mind, our ego, and our emotional attachments. Often tears precede healing as we wrestle with the unconscious and underlying motivations that manifest in our lives, oftentimes in our bodies, as dis-ease. Traditionally, myrrh, an embalming ointment, is metaphysically interpreted to be connected with Jesus' directive, follow me and let the dead bury the dead. And Paul's statement, I die daily. That's so powerful. This as a way to acknowledge that although we hold on tightly to our thoughts and to things in our spiritual and material lives that are no longer needed, we are given the opportunities every day to begin our lives anew, but most especially right now, during this time of Christmas, during this time of Solstice and Kwanzaa, and certainly the new year that is coming. Christmas is a time of peace, from within out. It's a time of love, from within out. It's a time of joy from within out, and has become synonymous with light, perhaps as a remnant from the fear of the dying of the sun at the time of the winter solstice. And this is why we focused on the darkness Friday night. And it was very powerful. It's actually on the Facebook page, and I encourage you to add it to your rituals for the season, because the darkness gives us many, many gifts. And we took the time Friday night to really acknowledge what our darkness has gifted us. What wisdom have we learned from our dark times and the many beautiful dark moments that bring us the light. People cover their churches, businesses, and homes these days with candles and lights. Lights also associated with knowledge and understanding. In John 5, Jesus said, "I am the light of the world." But in Matthew, he also said, "You are the light of the world." Like, how fascinating. There were two parts to that sentence. I am the light of the world, or you are the light of the world. How's that possible? Ye are gods. Very simple statements. Absolutely easy to understand. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they light it and put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine today. Let your light out. So today, let us put our light on a stand so that it may be seen by everyone. Christmas is indeed a day of celebration. It's an opportunity to review where we are spiritually and to feel the rebirth of our own spiritual source within us, and to resolve to keep our light on that stand, not just for today, not just for Christmas, but for all the days of our lives. And to remember that in lighting our own candle within and to light our homes, we end up being a beacon of hope for others. And so let us complete this time of interpretation and contemplation of the meaning of this time with this beautiful prayer that's a part of this. Divine Creator, thank you for bringing us together as a spiritual family today. Thank you for giving us this place to be able to express our thoughts and our feelings and our tender hearts, because we feel our tender hearts right now. You know, we're sending our vibe out to Richard right now. We can't affect him, but yet we can, by prayer, by sending him our energy this morning that he will feel and is feeling right now, because energy is not bound by walls, that he's right here with us. He's literally right here with us, and we're right there with him, and he feels this love right here and right now. Thank you for this safe environment to nurture the rebirth and the growth of our spiritual selves. And when we prepare to leave, let us choose to see the light in everyone. It's just about overcoming the king and making a choice to realize once and for all that no matter what anybody says, no matter what they try to tell us, no matter what our own mind tries to tell us, that back behind it all, we truly are the same. We come from the same source. We are light. And by choosing to see this light in everyone we encounter and sharing our light with those whose light has dimmed, especially at this time, we know that we are loved, and that by having faith, we know we are never alone. Let us be aware of the responsibility that we have to encourage the light to grow, not only within ourselves and others, not just at Christmas time, but every day of the year. My Christmas gift and our Christmas gift to all of you today is to remind you that you are blessed and you truly are the gift. And so it is.
And so it is.
so wish I would have heard that as a child.
Amen on that.
Gosh, thank you, Camille. That was
Thank you.
beautifully delivered too.
Yeah, beautiful.
So at this point in time, I'm going to invite each one of you up to make an affirmation as you take a candle. You can tell us your affirmation or share, your light. Light a candle, stick it from the central candle and stick it in the water and just affirm that whatever you want to talk about, your light. So I'm going to start.
Yay.
And so I light this candle from the universal light, affirming that I am the light. I have the Holy Spirit. I am the Holy Spirit within me, and that my light shines for everybody and myself. And you can all just come up as you choose.
I am the light of this world, and I accept my responsibility in the days that follow to shine my light more brightly and to help people remember who they really are.
I affirm to love all that I see, because in that love there is light, and in sharing that love, I share that light.
Wait, David, to light one for you, and you give it.
During this time of transition in our world and in our U.S., I affirm that everyone sees the truth of what's really going on so that we can heal the divide and have faith in the changes that are happening.
With this light, I affirm God's divine power over everything on this beautiful earth that He's given us, and His ability to heal all that needs to be healed, no matter what that might be. And I just praise and honor Him for that.
only a few words to say so much in our troubled times in our world. So I'm adding my little bit of love and light to the whole of the world to make it bigger.
Use this other candle, it hasn't been
You can use
used.
whatever works for you.
Yeah, I feel like it needs to be used. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Yeah.
I think it's okay, we can light it again. I think taking the candle and lighting it is a better idea.
You are right,
I know, I was,
but the whole
I like to
dropping
do
it
things
in.
the hard way.
Excuse me again, Dave. She's fixing it. Thank you. Oh well,
It worked.
it worked, kind of, except the
It
light.
really
The light went
does.
out, but
It's
that's
okay.
okay. Did you just light it for me, Camille?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I would like to request assistance
On.
on helping an obstinate roommate see the light. And those of you who know who I mean.
You know, he has his own light.
Yeah, he's got a healing issue going on. I'm here to heal him. You didn't want to listen. Anyway, I need your help.
Divine help.
Divine
Surround you,
Divine
surround
love
you.
is coming your way. You are divine. Don't be shy. You don't have to.
First, I want to express gratitude for everyone present here, because it can help us to remind us that we're not alone and we're part of a team. Like Anne says, team good.
Yes.
And I reaffirm that I'm part of the divine team. I'm opening up my heart to accept the divine light to flow through me, and I would like to be aligned with, the light of compassion for self and all.
Oh.
Light and water. God is love.
I affirm that, yea, though I am walking through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me.
Woo-hoo. Absolutely.
I particularly am happy the light is returning. I'm an avid gardener, and so it will be life-giving to have that light upon the earth. At the ceremony last night, I pledged that I will really encourage and share even more looking into the beauty of things around us, big and small. And many of you know I've taught art, so I've devoted my life to, seeing beauty. So sometimes we're in such a hurry, but when you're stressed, you might just focus in on a candle flip or a single flower and find some peace.
I affirm that I will strive to do all that I can to save the lighthouse that I have been tasked with, so that I can keep it burning bright, so that other lighthouses can see it and know when they need it, they can find me. And I can find them.
Oh.
Helen, would you like to share? Helen? Only if you want to.
Yeah, come on. Don't say anything.
I could just say I
You can
agree
just
with
light a
everything.
candle, Helen, if you want.
Well, yeah, light a candle. Shine the light, your light. Okay, this candle is for, oops, it's gonna go out.
gratitude, and hope and compassion
Oh,
for everybody.
awesome.
While we were doing this, I received guidance. This candle represents all of those that we have known in this dimension that have passed on. May their light continue to shine in our hearts and guide us.
Oh. I just got a Mary Nelson hit. Wow, that was so powerful, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think we need to sing Joy to the World. And then we'll circle up. Okay, you have the words. No, a cappella. Bella. Okay, you guys, sing it with your heart. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare Him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. No more sins and sorrows grow, nor thorns infest the ground. He comes to make His blessings flow, for as the curse is found, for as the curse is found, for as the curse is found. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of His righteousness, and wonders of His love, and wonders of His love, and wonders of His love. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Boy, I'd like to have that one metaphysically interpreted too. Okay, guys, how we close? We're just
I
gonna.
think we'd all like to see the snow globe do its thing.
Oh,
first
the good.
before-
Well.
And that's going to be on YouTube.
Yes, and you can turn that off now.